Hey there. Hey, today I'm at Sagamore Hill National Historic Site, which is the home of President Theodore Roosevelt. This is a real pretty area. My son are here just to kind of visit the home, and it's a beautiful place. This is located in Oyster Bay, Long Island, and it's a nice place. We just got here. We're actually just going to take a tour at 1 o'clock, but I thought I'd do a little video and show you what the grounds look like here. Behind me is the visitor center here for Sagamore Hill, and the visitor center is where you check in for the tours. You can get tickets for the tours here. We booked ours ahead online, but you can buy them here if they have tickets available. I'm not going to really take you inside there, but the house, the tours for the house start here. And we'll take you around here to show you some of the grounds that are on Sagamore Hill. It's a really lovely setting. But the house there is up in the distance. You can see the big brick house. But again, this is where the tours start. But pretty area. Roosevelt bought this property in 1980. And he bought originally 155 acres up here on this hill. And his uncle owned property here before him. This is in Oyster Bay. It's on this little neck of land that juts out into Long Island Sound. But he bought 155 acres originally, paid $30,000 for it back in the 1880s. And his relative, his uncle, owned property nearby. But it was part of a working hard, but this was his permanent home where he lived. They started building the house in, I think it was 1883 or 84, and the house wasn't finished until about 1887. Roosevelt, as probably some know in history, his first wife died, I think in 1884, 85, I can't quite remember. I'll put up a note here when I do the video. But the house was under construction when him and his first wife, Alice, were married. But both his mother and his wife died on the same day in February of, I think, 1884, 1885. Not quite sure. But anyway, that's when after his wife died, he went out west to North Dakota, and spent some time in solitude and started cattle ranching out there. But when he came back, he actually married a friend that he knew from his childhood days, Edith Kermit. And they moved in here to this house here in 1887. And Roosevelt lived here until he died in, I think, 1919. And it served as kind of his summer White House here when he was president from 1901, 1909. Hopefully I'm getting all the dates right here, but this is Sagamore Hill, and we'll walk around and take some clips and show you what it's like. This is the back entrance of the house, and you can see it's a big, impressive structure. As I'm going to pan up there, you can see how large. Again, haven't got all the details yet, haven't gone on a tour to see how big this place is and how many rooms, but pretty impressive. I think this is the eastern side of the house here. This is obviously the entranceway where people would have come into the property. And again, just kind of build the camera up there so you can see what that looks like. I think when I was reading about this property, I don't think it had, when he first built it, I don't think it had electricity. It was added later, and didn't have telephone, but they did add one later when he was president. They got a phone in here, but pretty place. And this is the front of the house here. You can see some people are coming out of their tour. My son, Kevin, there is walking in front. Here's the guy with the white shirt and the backpack. But the front porch, you notice that there's a railing missing from the front porch. And that is where Roosevelt had that removed because he gave speeches from the front porch. Again, this was before mass media, communications. People would gather here from the area to hear him stand on the porch and give a speech. So pretty cool. My son and I just got done doing our tour of Sagamore Hill. It was really great. The National Park volunteer did a really great job on the tour. It took about an hour and a half to go through the whole house. Sorry there were no photography allowed during the tour, so we couldn't show any pictures, but it is. They take you through every room, explain the history, and a lot about Theodore Roosevelt's history, so it's really, they really do a great job during the tour. We made reservations for the tour, but you can show up without a reservation. There were 4 people who showed up without reservations for the 1 o'clock tour. It got in fine. The tour cost $10 per person, but if you have a national park pass, it's free. I have the geezer pass, so I actually got a refund for my tickets prices for the tour, so that was good. One last thing, there is a museum here on the property down here. We're running out of time. We've been here since 11 and didn't get a chance to do that museum, but there is a museum. It's a small museum with some from artifacts from Roosevelt's life, but that's Sagamore Hill, National Historic Site. I highly recommend it. It's a little awkward to get to. Here, Oyster Bay, New York. I think I showed a map where it was, but a little awkward to get here, but well worth the visit if you're interested. It was probably one of the most impressive presidential houses I've visited, so it's well worth the visit. But hope you enjoyed it. See you on down the road.